Hello Orchid Maniacs! So today I'm gonna do something really interesting, well, to me at least. Those of you who have followed my channel from the very beginning probably remember that I had a very interesting plant which is called Habenaria radiata or Pectalis radiata, and it bloomed for me last summer. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna put a link to that video in the info card. So in autumn it went dormant, and it was dormant all winter, and I kept it in my garage all winter, so I think now it's a good time to look what's in the pot, if I have anything or not at all, because I don't really know. The pot is not non-transparent and I don't see anything inside. So the media was kept dry, and well, it's a moment of truth really. Now scenarios. The best case scenario, I have some additional bulbs growing in there, which is, I'm not sure if it could happen, because I don't think it grew as good as it could. So I hope I will find at least a few corms. I had 3 plants in there, so I hope I can find at least three corms that are still alive. So let's see. It's the moment of truth. I've ordered it last spring, and it came in this pot and I didn't repot it because it was already growing. I might keep it in the same pot this year, or I might decide to change it. I will see if I find anything in there. So, as you can see, the media was a mix of peat and perlite. And I've got all kinds of mosses growing on top, and this little plant looks like it was alive. This one is still alive. There are all kinds of weeds in there, so they did have some moisture apparently. It was enough for those plants to survive, so maybe my corms didn't really dry out too much, even though the media is completely dry. You don't get me wrong, you need to keep it dry, but you shouldn't desiccate the corms, because they will die. And I'm looking very carefully, because Habenaria radiata has very small corms. They are pretty much peanut sized. So let's see if I can find anything at all. Of course, it is possible that they all died and I'm not gonna find anything. But let's keep our fingers crossed. Well, that doesn't look very promising. Well, this could be a little corm, but it's so small. I'm not really sure it is. Of course, those plants looked like they were very small and they didn't grow as tall as they should have grown, so it is quite possible they've all just died. So there we have it. I've actually thought that I wasn't going to find anything because it's difficult to find them when you don't know what you're looking for. And they are quite dark, so they look very similar to the dirt. And I've actually found some pieces like that, and I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a corn, but well, anyway, I'm gonna put it in the same pot. And I don't know what it is, what this little guy is, but again, I don't want to miss anything, so I'm gonna plant everything that is suspicious to me. But these two are definitely Habenaria corms. And I had to pause the video because it was taking too long, and I've searched through the media very thoroughly. So yeah. So I'm gonna pot them up, and I'm gonna use a mix of peat and perlite. So I'm gonna just mix it up. And I think I'm gonna use the same pot because they are only 2 corms, so there's no need for a bigger pot or anything like that. And the Habenarias, at least this one, really likes to stay moist, so it's not like any epiphytic orchids. You do need to have a more water retentive mix. So I'm using the same thing that I use for my carnivorous plants. It's a natural peat with perlite. And I use a little bit more peat than perlite now. So let me just rinse the pot, and I'm gonna come back. So let me just add the mix. And actually, when I got them, it was, let me think, late spring, early summer, something like that. They were very small, and I was actually surprised that they were only this big. They were about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 centimeters high, and I was expecting to get them much bigger than that. So I thought, well, maybe they are young plants and they're not going to bloom. But one of them did. The other one tried to produce a bloom, but it was getting already too cold. It was autumn already, so it blasted. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pot them up earlier, because I want them to start growing before I actually have a chance to put them outside, because our summers are quite short and they can be quite cold. So I think it was too cold for this plant last year, and I'm not really sure if I'm gonna keep it outside all summer long. I will probably try to put it somewhere warmer if it's going to be cold, because sometimes we can get really hot summers and sometimes they are quite cold, so you can never know in advance. So yeah, so I've added some mix. Now I'm gonna pot those up, and I'm potting the pointy part upwards. Maybe I need a little bit more mix. I don't know how is it with Habenarias, but there's a general rule of thumb in gardening that you should plant all seeds as deep as their height. So if I have a corm, well, it's not a seed, but if I have a corm, it's about 1 centimeter long, I should plant it 1 centimeter deep below the surface. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm just sticking them into the mix, trying to make sure they're upright. And I'm also gonna put these unknown things as well. And I'm gonna cover them with media. Now this mix is dry, so I'm gonna just wet it up a little bit, but very, very, very lightly, because I don't want them to rot. These corms are not growing yet. They don't have any roots, they don't have any leaves or anything, but I don't want this media to be totally bone dry. And I think I'm gonna keep it in here, because it's the right time for them to wake up and start growing. And it's much warmer in here than it is in my garage. So yeah. Of course I'm gonna rummage through the old media again, because I really don't want to miss anything. But well, that's it for today. We're gonna put the tag back in and hope for the best. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye. There's one more interesting thing that I forgot to mention, is that I found some slow-release fertilizer pellets in the old media. There weren't many of them, but I still found some. And I've actually fertilized this plant in summer a little bit. And I think I will try to fertilize it this year as well. I don't have any slow-release fertilizer now, and I don't think I will put any in there. But I'm gonna use the regular orchid fertilizer that I use for all of my other plants. The only difference is that I'm gonna use it like I did last year. I've used it once every 2 weeks, and at a very low quantity. So if I use half strength fertilizer from Habenaria, I've only used quarter strength fertilizer for this one. And I've always flushed it with rainwater afterwards.